All right, lesson 3 for probability. Here we finally get to start calculating probabilities, but first we're going to make sure we know what probability can and cannot be. So, probability is the likelihood of something happening and, calculated by what you want over what you don't want. So, the likelihood of something happening cannot be 100. Let's think about what probability can be. It's a fraction between 0 and 1. It can include 0 and 1, but it can't be anything bigger than 1 or anything less than 0. So it cannot be 100. So this is invalid. I'm going to highlight invalid here. I meant orange, but whatever. I meant yellow. Now 100%, or make a percent a decimal, we divide that by 100. 100 divided by 100 is valid. That's 1. That's something that's certain to happen would be 100%. 0.5, except this is a negative 0.5. Probabilities cannot be negative. This is invalid. 1.5, that's bigger than 1, can't happen. 120%, can't happen. 0, that can happen. You can have something that's impossible actually happen. If you don't buy a lottery ticket, you have a 0% chance of winning the lottery. Probably 0. You also have a 0% chance of losing $2 from the lottery. Now determine if the events here are impossible, unlikely, equally likely, that means 50-50 shot, likely, or certain to happen. So unlikely would be anything less than 50%, likely would be anything over 50%. Certain is 1, impossible 0, equally likely is 50%. So selecting a red marble from a bag of 10 red and 200 green marbles. That's not impossible, but it's not likely, it's unlikely. That's less than half. Rolling a die, yes, the singular form of dice is die, and getting an even number. Well, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3 even, 3 odds. So it's equally likely. The next day ends in Y. Monday, yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday. Oh, they all end in day, so they all end Y, don't they? Yep. That is certain to happen. Whatever tomorrow is, it ends in Y. Selecting an orange marble from a bag with 3 white, 3 black, and 3 red marbles. Well, how many orange marbles do we have? None. So no, that's impossible. All right. Determine the basic probabilities. Oh, excuse me for a minute. I got to pause, and I'll be right back. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I'm back. So the next one. Determine the basic probability. Given a bag with 12 green, 15 yellow, and 8 red marbles, what is the probability of green? Well, remember, probability is what you want over the total. So how many green are there? 12. So that's going to be my numerator. So I'm going to just make a fraction here. So to make a fraction, we're going to need to insert an equation. So insert equation. And then, I have to think for a second, this little equation bar will pop up. So we're going to click here, math operations, press the square root, and this A over B thing, that's your fraction. And this is going to be kind of small. I'm actually going to change my font in a second also. You got a bag of 12 green and 15 yellow, so there's 12 greens. 12 goes on top. That's good enough to see. Now, how many total marbles are there? 12 and 8 is 20, plus 15 is 35. 12 over 35. Done. That's good enough. I can read it. Sure, you can read it. I'm going to actually need another equation, right? I'm going to need a new equation. So I click the new equation button. Then I make a new fraction. 8 reds, and again, 35 marbles. So there we go. Done. 8 over 35. If these fractions were simplifiable, I suggest going ahead and doing that. These are not. but if you were to see it on like an end of course test or the ACT or something, they will most likely be simplified fractions. So make sure you know how to simplify a fraction. Okay. Given this spinner, what is the probability of red, green, white, and blue? Well, let's start with red. So again, new equation. Give me a fraction. How many reds are there? 1, 2, 3. 3 reds. How many? And I think these are evenly spaced. It looks like they're evenly spaced. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 3 out of 8. Not simplifiable. Okay, white. New equation. 1 out of 8. Okay, definitely not simplifiable. Green. Well, I may be slightly colorblind, but I can read. There's no green here. So that probability is 0. Probability of blue. You see how I did here? That's fine. It's going to be more like that on your paper anyway. Probability of blue. 1, 2, 3, 4. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to write 4 out of 8. But I know that can be simplified to 1/2. If you don't know that that can be simplified to 1/2, type it in your calculator. If you have a Casio like this, 4 out of 8. A lot of calculators have a fraction to decimal button, an SD button. So you should be able to, on most calculators, convert it to a fraction if you get it to a decimal. Or you can just know that 0.5 is a half. So 4/8, but I'm going to change that to 1/2. I do want it simplified if you don't mind, because again, you'll see this on tests as simplified fractions. Okay, we've got a couple D4s here, 2 D4s, and their values are summed. Okay, so here you might want to draw out your sample space. So I'm actually going to do that for you. It's a lot easier if you look at sample space for this thing. You might be able to think about it, but let's just see it. So the first die, I'm going to put it as the rows, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? It's a normal D4. Yeah. And the second die, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, the singular of dice is die. So now let me sum them. If I roll a 1 and a 1, that's a 2. I'm actually going to do that in this color. 2, 3, 4, 5. 3, 4. I'm adding the row and the column. So 2 plus 2 is 4. 2 plus 3 is 5. 6, 4, 5. I'm sure you saw the pattern already. 6, 7, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So now let's look at this. What is the probability that you get a sum of 2? Well, how many times can that happen? Once. So I need a fraction on here. 1 possibility. Out of how many total possibilities? 4 times 4 is 16. Remember your counting rules. There's 4 possibilities in the first one, 4 possibilities in the second one. Sample space has a size of 16. Now 5. Let's see how many 5s we have. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So that'd be 4 out of 16. But watch, that can be simplified. 4 out of 16 is 1/4. That's what I'm going to write. And that's it for this week. So make sure you know how to do a fraction. That's probably the most complicated thing this week. Oh, tree diagram, that's the most complicated thing. Other than that, though, this little fraction button makes you know how to insert an equation. Just go insert equation, and this little toolbar will pop up. You can use it. And that's it, guys. Enjoy the week.